The encounter at Palace Wu. It was a day like any other in the affluent neighborhood of downtown Metropolis, where the sun shone brightly and the streets bustled with well-dressed individuals, their laughter mingling with the sounds of luxury cars gliding past. Among the towering buildings of glass and steel, Palace Wu stood as a monument to opulence, its entrance flanked by manicured hedges and a doorman in a crisp suit who greeted every customer with a practiced smile. Inside, the air was infused with the scent of high-end perfumes and polished wood, setting the stage for a shopping experience that promised to be nothing short of extraordinary. The store was renowned for its exclusive collections, catering to a clientele that sought not only the finest in fashion, but also the prestige that came with purchasing from such a revered establishment. Each item on display was carefully curated, radiating sophistication and allure. The minimalist decor, with its elegant lines and muted tones, served to highlight the exquisite pieces that adorn the shelves, each a testament to the craftsmanship and artistry of the designers. Henry Thompson, the head salesperson, was a fixture at Palace Wu, embodying the very essence of the store's ethos. In his early 30s, he was impeccably groomed, his tailored suit fitting him like a second skin. He prided himself on his keen eye for style and an ability to discern who belonged in the world of luxury and who did not. With every glance, he assessed the worthiness of potential customers, his arrogance veiled beneath a facade of polished charm. As he surveyed the shop floor, Henry's gaze landed on Amelia Johnson, an unassuming woman in her late 60s who had just entered the store. Amelia's attire was simple yet dignified. A crisp white blouse paired with well-worn jeans and comfortable shoes. Her worn leather handbag, a companion through years of life's ups and downs, hung from her shoulder, a testament to her journey rather than a reflection of her social status. Her face, though calm, bore the marks of time and hardship. It told stories of resilience and strength that went unnoticed by those around her. Henry felt a wave of disdain wash over him. He adjusted his posture and positioned himself between Amelia and the display of designer handbags she seemed drawn to. "May I help you?" he asked, his tone cold and condescending. Unlike the warm welcomes he reserved for the well-heeled customers who frequented the store, Amelia's entrance triggered his instinct to protect the store's elite aura. "I'd like to see those leather bags," Amelia replied, maintaining her composure. Her voice was steady, a stark contrast to the silent judgment emanating from Henry. They seemed to be of good quality. Henry raised an eyebrow, skepticism dripping from his words. "Those bags are very expensive," he warned, his tone suggesting that perhaps she should reconsider her desires. "Maybe you should look for something more affordable." The emphasis on affordable was laced with a patronizing undertone, designed to belittle Amelia's worth. The air in the store shifted. A few customers turned their attention to the unfolding scene. Amelia felt a pang of humiliation but swallowed it down, refusing to let Henry's words affect her. She had faced discrimination before, her lifetime of experiences molding her into a person who understood the weight of judgment yet refused to let it define her. "I know how much they cost," she replied, her voice firm, determination radiating from her. "I'd like to see one up close, please." Henry stepped closer, invading her personal space, his smile a thin veneer over his contempt. "Look, Mom, maybe I can suggest a store more your style, something that fits better with your budget." The disdain in his tone was palpable, drawing even more attention from onlookers who watched the exchange with bated breath. Amelia felt a knot form in her throat, but she refused to bow her head in defeat. "I want to see the bags," she insisted, her anger bubbling just beneath the surface. "And I believe that's part of your job." Henry laughed, a dry, sarcastic sound that echoed through the store. To him, Amelia was just another person who needed a reminder of her place in society, a place that did not include the luxury of Palace Wu. "I don't think you understand. These bags aren't for everyone. Certainly not for someone like you," he sneered, his words laced with an arrogance that felt like a slap in the face. The silence that followed was deafening. Customers shifted uncomfortably, their eyes darting between Henry and Amelia, as whispers of disbelief rippled through the crowd. Amelia felt the weight of their gazes, but she held her ground, refusing to let Henry's judgment intimidate her. "And what exactly do you mean by someone like me?" she asked, her voice low yet powerful, challenging him to dig deeper into his prejudice. At that moment, Laura Bell, a young saleswoman who had recently started working at Pallaswoo, stepped forward. She had witnessed the entire exchange, her heart racing with indignation. While she had often felt uneasy about Henry's attitude toward customers, she had never found the courage to confront him. But something about Amelia's quiet strength compelled her to act. "Henry, please let me assist her," Laura interjected, her voice steady as she faced her colleague. "You're not handling this the right way." There was an urgency in her tone, a newfound determination that surprised even her. Henry's incredulity was evident as he shot Laura a disapproving glare. "I'm handling this," he retorted, his dismissive wave indicating that he would not be challenged. But Laura stood firm. "No, you're not. Let me help this customer," she insisted, her voice rising with conviction. Amelia looked at Laura, surprise flickering in her eyes, grateful for the unexpected support. It was rare to find someone willing to confront prejudice and arrogance, especially in a high-stakes environment like Pallaswoo. With a scoff, Henry relented, though not without casting one last disdainful look at Amelia. "Do what you want, but you're wasting your time," he muttered as he turned away, retreating to another corner of the store. Laura turned to Amelia, her smile genuine, as she attempted to diffuse the tension. "I'm sorry for what just happened," she said, her voice warm and inviting. "Let me show you the bags you were interested in." As Laura carefully retrieved a selection of bags from the display, Amelia's hands trembled slightly. Though she was resolute in her dignity, the earlier confrontation had rattled her. Laura, sensing the unspoken vulnerability, spoke with genuine enthusiasm. "This is an excellent choice," she said, holding up a beautifully crafted handbag made of Italian leather, its stitching immaculate. "It's hand-stitched by artisans in Florence. You won't find quality like this anywhere else." Amelia took a deep breath, allowing the moment to sink in. She appreciated Laura's kindness, her willingness to stand up against the prejudice that so often permeated spaces like this. For a brief moment, the harshness of Henry's comments faded into the background, replaced by the warmth of shared humanity. As Amelia examined the bag, she felt a rush of emotions. The weight of societal judgment, the strength of her identity, and the hope that perhaps, one day, things could change. This moment was more than just about a handbag. It was about standing tall in the face of adversity and reclaiming her place in a world that often sought to diminish her worth. Laura watched as Amelia interacted with the bag, her own heart swelling with admiration for the older woman's resilience. "If you'd like to try it on," Laura offered, "I can help you find a mirror." "Yes, I'd like that," Amelia replied, a small smile breaking through her initial tension. The simple exchange felt like a victory against the backdrop of judgment she had faced moments before. As Amelia stepped toward the mirror, she caught a glimpse of herself, a woman who had lived a lifetime of trials yet remained unbroken. She could feel the whispers of her past echoing in her mind, reminding her of the battles she had fought and the strength she had cultivated. This wasn't just a shopping trip, it was a reclamation of her dignity, a stand against the prejudices that still persisted in society. Laura joined her by the mirror, holding the bag so Amelia could see how it looked against her outfit. "You look stunning," she said, her sincerity evident. "This bag deserves to be carried by someone who knows its worth." Amelia met Laura's gaze, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you," she said softly, her voice filled with emotion. "It's refreshing to meet someone who sees beyond the surface." As they shared a moment of understanding, the dynamic in Pallaswoo began to shift. The onlookers who had witnessed the earlier confrontation now observed the kindness blooming between the two women, a small but powerful ripple of change in an environment often marked by elitism and judgment. Amelia took a step back, her confidence renewed. "I'll take it," she said, her decision firm. Laura's face lit up with a smile as she carefully placed the bag back on the counter. "I'll wrap it up for you. Just one moment." As Laura walked away, Amelia felt a wave of empowerment wash over her. This was not just about a purchase. It was a statement, a declaration of her worth. In that moment, she knew she was reclaiming her narrative, one that had often been overshadowed by the biases of others. With the bag in hand, Amelia turned to leave the store, her head held high. As she walked past Henry, who was now at a distance, she felt a sense of triumph. The encounter had ignited. The aftermath. Amelia Johnson stepped out of Palace Woo, the luxurious handbag nestled comfortably under her arm. The bright sunlight poured over her, illuminating her path and casting a golden hue that felt almost ethereal. She paused for a moment, breathing in the crisp air, allowing herself to revel in a mix of emotions, triumph, disbelief, and a newfound sense of empowerment. The echoes of the humiliation she had faced inside the store began to fade, replaced by the resolve that she would not let anyone, especially not Henry Thompson, define her worth. As she walked down the bustling street, the noise of the city enveloped her, laughter, honking cars, and the chatter of people creating a lively symphony. But for Amelia, the sounds were merely background music to the thoughts swirling in her mind. Memories of her childhood flooded back. The love of her parents, the values they instilled in her, and the struggles they faced in a world that often discriminated against them. She remembered her mother, a proud woman who taught her to hold her head high no matter the circumstance, and her father, who worked tirelessly to provide for their family. They had shown her the beauty of resilience, a lesson that had carried her through her own trials. As she approached the subway station, Amelia noticed a group of young women sitting on the steps, chatting animatedly. Their laughter rang out like music, but their designer clothes and trendy hairstyles reminded her of the gulf that often separated her from those who lived in the world of luxury. It was easy for someone like Henry to judge her based on appearances, but Amelia understood that true worth came from character, not the label on a handbag or the price tag attached to a dress. With a heavy heart yet unyielding spirit, she descended the steps into the subway. As she waited for the train, her mind raced with thoughts about what had transpired at Palace Woo. She had always been aware of the biases that existed in society. She had felt them acutely in her life, but this incident felt different. It wasn't just about the confrontation. It was about reclaiming her space and asserting her right to be there, to be seen, and to be respected. The train arrived with a whoosh, its doors sliding open to reveal a crowded compartment. Amelia stepped inside, maneuvering her way through the throng of commuters. She found a pole to hold onto, feeling the rhythmic sway of the train as it pulled away from the station. Glancing around, she caught sight of a young woman absorbed in a book and an elderly man reading a newspaper. Despite the mundane nature of the ride, Amelia felt a surge of purpose. This was her city, her life, and she was determined to make her presence known. When she arrived home, Amelia was greeted by the comforting smell of spices wafting from her kitchen. She lived in a modest apartment, a far cry from the opulence of Palace Woo, but it was her sanctuary. The walls were adorned with photographs of family gatherings, celebrations, and moments of love and laughter. Each picture told a story, a narrative woven through time that highlighted the importance of connection and community. Amelia set her new handbag on the kitchen counter, admiring its craftsmanship. The bag was more than just a luxury item. It symbolized her resilience, a tangible reminder that she could confront the challenges life threw at her. As she prepared dinner, she contemplated how she could channel the energy from her experience into something positive. The world often felt like an uphill battle, but she had always believed in the power of storytelling, how sharing her experiences could uplift others and foster understanding. After dinner, Amelia sat at her dining table with a notebook in hand. She began to write, letting her thoughts flow onto the pages. She wrote about her life, the struggles she had faced as a Black woman in America, and the moments of joy that punctuated her journey. The pen danced across the paper as she described the intersection of her identity and the world's perception of it, the weight of expectations and stereotypes, and the strength she had cultivated through adversity. Suddenly, the words of her mother echoed in her mind. "Never let anyone dim your light, Amelia. You are worthy, just as you are." Those words had always guided her, but now, they took on a new significance. She realized that sharing her story could help others feel empowered in the face of adversity, just as she had felt today. Amelia decided to organize a community event, a gathering that would celebrate diversity and promote understanding. She envisioned a space where people from different backgrounds could come together, share their experiences, and learn from one another. It would be an opportunity to break down barriers, dismantle prejudice, and foster a sense of belonging. Over the next few weeks, Amelia poured her energy into planning the event. She reached out to local community centers, schools, and churches, spreading the word about her vision. She was met with enthusiasm and support from many who understood the importance of creating a space for dialogue and connection. Local businesses began to contribute, donating food and materials for the gathering. As the event took shape, Amelia felt a renewed sense of purpose. This was her chance to make a difference, to inspire others to stand tall in their truth, just as she had. On the day of the event, the community center buzzed with excitement. Colorful decorations adorned the walls, and tables were filled with delicious dishes from various cultural backgrounds. As people began to arrive, Amelia greeted each guest with a warm smile, her heart swelling with gratitude for the support she had received. The event kicked off with a series of speakers, each sharing their personal stories of struggle and triumph. There were moments of laughter, tears, and heartfelt connections as people listened intently to one another. Amelia watched as walls began to crumble, replaced by understanding and empathy. It was a testament to the power of storytelling, a reminder that everyone carried their own burdens, yet together, they could find strength and solidarity. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow through the windows, Amelia took to the stage. With a deep breath, she began to speak, her voice steady and clear. "Thank you all for being here today. Your presence signifies that we are ready to embrace change, to create a community that values every voice and every story." She recounted her experience at Palace Wu, sharing the painful moment of humiliation she had faced, but also the empowering journey that followed. "In that moment, I could have let someone else define my worth. But I chose to stand tall, to believe in myself. And that is something we can all do." The audience was captivated, their attention unwavering as she continued. "We must challenge the biases that exist in our society. We must lift each other up, celebrate our differences, and create a world where everyone feels they belong." Applause erupted as Amelia concluded her speech, tears of joy welling in her eyes. The energy in the room was electric. The community was ignited, and hope radiated in every corner. People began to mingle, sharing their stories and experiences, their laughter echoing through the hall. It was a beautiful sight, a tapestry woven together by the threads of humanity. As the night wore on, Amelia felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had taken a painful encounter and transformed it into a catalyst for change, fostering a sense of unity and strength within her community. Each person who left that gathering carried a piece of her story with them, a reminder of the resilience that lived within all of them. In the weeks that followed, the impact of the event rippled through the community. People began to speak more openly about their experiences, creating an environment where empathy flourished. Amelia's efforts did not go unnoticed. Local news outlets featured her story, celebrating her courage and determination to uplift others. Her newfound visibility brought additional support, and soon, she was invited to share her message at schools and community forums, inspiring others to stand against prejudice and champion inclusivity. As she navigated this unexpected journey, Amelia learned that she was not alone. She connected with individuals who had faced similar challenges, each with their own stories of resilience. Together, they formed a network of support, empowering one another to be advocates for change. Amelia's handbag from Palace Wu became a cherished symbol of her transformation, a reminder of her strength and the power of standing up against adversity. Through her activism, Amelia discovered a new sense of purpose, a calling to continue the work she had begun. She envisioned expanding her community events, bringing in guest speakers, workshops, and discussions that focused on education, empowerment, and healing. The mission was clear: to cultivate a space where everyone felt valued, heard, and seen. As the seasons changed and autumn settled in, Amelia reflected on how far she had come since that fateful day at Palace Wu. What had begun as a moment of humiliation had blossomed into a movement of empowerment, touching lives and creating connections that would last a lifetime. She realized that her voice mattered, that her experiences could inspire others to rise above the challenges they faced. And so, with every word she shared, every story she listened to, and every event she organized, Amelia Johnson not only reclaimed her narrative, but also paved the way for others to do the same. The world may have its biases, but she had learned that the human spirit is far more resilient than any judgment. In embracing her own truth, she had illuminated the path for others to follow, reminding them that they too are worthy, just as they are. The ripple effect. With each passing day, the momentum of Amelia Johnson's community initiative grew stronger. The events she organized became a haven for those seeking connection and understanding, fostering a culture of empathy that began to permeate the fabric of Metropolis. As word spread about her gatherings, attendance swelled, attracting not only individuals from diverse backgrounds, but also local leaders, educators, and activists eager to lend their voices to the cause. Amelia found herself at the helm of a movement she never anticipated, but one that resonated deeply within her heart. It was a blend of advocacy and education, aimed at addressing the biases that had long persisted in society. Each meeting served as a platform for storytelling, people sharing their journeys of struggle, resilience, and triumph in the face of adversity. From young adults grappling with identity to elders recounting the battles they had fought for civil rights, each story was a thread woven into the larger tapestry of the community. The venue for her gatherings evolved as well. The community center, once a simple space, transformed into an inviting atmosphere where art, culture, and history converge. Vibrant murals depicting influential figures in the civil rights movement adorned the walls, serving as reminders of the battles fought for equality. Local artists contributed their work, showcasing the beauty of diversity through their lenses. Amelia envisioned the center not just as a gathering place, but as a cultural hub, fostering creativity and collaboration among its visitors. As the gatherings grew in popularity, Amelia began to implement workshops focusing on various topics related to diversity and inclusion. She invited experts to lead discussions on understanding implicit bias, effective communication, and conflict resolution. The workshops attracted participants from all walks of life, sparking conversations that challenged preconceived notions and dismantled stereotypes. One particularly impactful workshop focused on the concept of microaggressions, those subtle, often unintentional, comments or behaviors that convey prejudiced attitudes. During the session, participants shared their experiences of microaggressions, and the stories flowed freely. Amelia listened intently as individuals recounted moments when their identities were diminished by dismissive comments or actions. A young man named Jamal spoke about his experiences in the workplace, where he often found himself questioned about his qualifications, despite having a stellar track record. "It's not overt racism," he explained, "but the constant questioning of my abilities feels like a weight I carry. It's exhausting." The room was filled with nods of understanding, a shared recognition of the invisible burdens many faced. In contrast, a white woman named Sarah shared her awakening journey. "I didn't realize how often I had been oblivious to the struggles others faced," she admitted. "Listening to these stories has opened my eyes. I want to be a better ally." The honesty and vulnerability in the room created a safe space for dialogue, allowing participants to explore their biases while learning how to support one another. Amelia facilitated these workshops with grace and compassion, emphasizing the importance of active listening and empathy. Each session ended with a commitment to take tangible actions in their daily lives, whether it be educating themselves further, advocating for change, or simply being more mindful of the language they used. The energy in the room was palpable, a testament to the power of shared experiences and collective growth. As the months rolled on, Amelia received unexpected support from various organizations. Nonprofits dedicated to social justice reached out, eager to collaborate and amplify the impact of her work. Corporate sponsors began to recognize the importance of inclusivity, offering funding for larger events and initiatives that extended beyond the community center. With this newfound support, Amelia envisioned a larger event, a festival celebrating diversity, aimed at uniting the community and showcasing the rich cultural tapestry of Metropolis. The planning for the festival commenced with fervor. Amelia assembled a dedicated team of volunteers, many of whom had attended her previous events. They brainstormed ideas for activities, performances, and workshops that would engage attendees of all ages. The festival would feature local artists, musicians, and dancers, highlighting the unique contributions of different cultures. Food stalls offering cuisines from around the world would tantalize taste buds and serve as a culinary journey through diversity. As the festival date approached, Amelia felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. This event represented not only a culmination of her hard work, but also a significant moment for the community. She wanted it to be a true reflection of the values she championed: unity, respect, and celebration of differences. In the weeks leading up to the festival, Amelia and her team faced challenges that tested their resolve. There were logistical hurdles, permits, vendor contracts, and weather concerns, each threatening to derail their plans. However, with each obstacle, Amelia's determination only intensified. She rallied her team, reminding them of the greater purpose behind their efforts. This festival is not just an event, it's a movement. We're creating a space where people can connect and celebrate who they are, she urged. On the day of the festival, the atmosphere was electric. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the park where the event was held. Colorful banners flapped in the breeze, and the sounds of laughter and music filled the air. Amelia stood at the entrance, her heart swelling with pride as she watched families, friends, and strangers come together. As the opening ceremony commenced, Amelia took to the stage, her spirit radiating joy and gratitude. "Welcome, everyone. Today, we celebrate our differences, our stories, and our shared humanity," she proclaimed, her voice echoing across the park. "Each of you is a vital part of this community, and together, we can create a world where everyone feels valued and respected." Throughout the day, attendees explored the various booths, engaging with local artisans and sampling delicious foods from around the world. Workshops on cultural awareness and respect filled the schedule, while performances by local artists showcased the vibrant talent within the community. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, live music echoed through the park, inviting people to dance and celebrate. Amelia wandered through the crowd, taking in the laughter and joy surrounding her. She paused to speak with attendees, sharing in their excitement and hearing their stories. She met a woman named Maria, who had just moved to Metropolis and found solace in the community's warmth. "This event has made me feel welcomed," Maria shared, her eyes sparkling with gratitude. "I've met so many wonderful people today." As the festival continued, Amelia noticed a group of teenagers gathered around a booth focused on social activism. They were engaging in discussions about ways to advocate for change in their schools and communities. Amelia approached them, feeling the sense of hope as she listened to their passionate ideas. These young voices represented the future, and Amelia knew they would carry the torch of inclusivity forward. As the day drew to a close, Amelia gathered her team for a moment of reflection. They stood together, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, a breathtaking backdrop to the vibrant energy that had filled the park. "We did it," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "This is just the beginning. We've created something beautiful together, and I couldn't have done it without each of you." Tears of joy glistened in her eyes as her team embraced her, the bond they had forged through their shared vision stronger than ever. They had faced challenges and celebrated victories, and now they stood united in their commitment to continue the work they had started. In the days following the festival, the impact reverberated throughout the community. News outlets covered the event, showcasing the sense of unity and celebration that had enveloped Metropolis. Social media buzzed with photos and stories from attendees, spreading the message of inclusivity far and wide. People reached out to Amelia, eager to collaborate on future events and initiatives, reinforcing the notion that the desire for change was alive and well. But with the newfound attention came challenges as well. Some individuals expressed resistance to Amelia's vision, clinging to outdated beliefs about race and identity. Online comments reflected the tensions that still existed within society, highlighting the divisions that remained entrenched in many communities. Yet, instead of being discouraged, Amelia felt emboldened. This was a reminder that the work was far from over. It was a call to action. With renewed vigor, she organized a series of community dialogues aimed at addressing these tensions head-on. These discussions were designed to create a safe space for individuals to share their perspectives, engage in difficult conversations, and foster understanding. Amelia believed that through dialogue, barriers could be dismantled and common ground could be found. As the dialogues unfolded, Amelia witnessed the power of open communication. People came together, sometimes bringing their biases and misconceptions, but leaving with newfound insights and a deeper understanding of one another. Through sharing personal stories, they began to see each other as human beings rather than stereotypes, bridging the gap that had long separated them. One poignant moment occurred during a dialogue session when a participant named David, a middle-aged white man, shared his journey. He spoke candidly about his upbringing in a racially divided neighborhood and how he had come to realize the harmful effects of systemic racism. "I grew up thinking I was just normal, but I now see how my privilege blinded me to the struggles of others," he admitted, his voice heavy with emotion. The room fell silent as people absorbed his words. Amelia watched as individuals who had once held different perspectives began to nod in understanding. It was a moment of transformation, where vulnerability and honesty fostered empathy and connection. By the time the last dialogue session concluded, Amelia felt a renewed sense of hope. The dialogues had brought forth a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths, opening the door to healing and growth. People left with a commitment to continue the conversations, to challenge their own biases, and to stand in solidarity with one another. Through these efforts, Amelia's impact began to reach beyond the borders of Metropolis. She received invitations to speak at conferences and workshops, sharing her story and the lessons learned from her journey. Her voice became a beacon of hope, inspiring others to embrace their identities and work toward creating inclusive spaces within their communities. As she stood on stages across the country, Amelia spoke passionately about the importance of vulnerability in the face of prejudice. "We must acknowledge our shared humanity," she urged. "Every story matters, and by lifting each other up, we can build a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued." Back in Metropolis, the seeds of change she had planted continued to flourish. Schools began implementing programs focused on diversity and inclusion, ensuring that young minds were equipped with the tools to navigate the complexities of identity. Local businesses embraced diversity training, fostering an environment where all employees felt respected and valued. Through it all, Amelia remained grounded in her commitment to her community. She often returned to the community center, her heart full as she engaged with the individuals she had come to know and love. Each conversation, each shared experience, was a reminder of the beauty of humanity, the strength that emerged when people came together to uplift one another. And in the quiet moments, Amelia would reflect on the journey that had led her here. The initial humiliation at Pallaswu, the determination to rise above, and the ripple effect of empowerment that had unfolded. It was a journey fueled by resilience, hope, and the unwavering belief that everyone has a story worth telling. With each passing day, Amelia Johnson continued to forge a path toward inclusivity and understanding, one story at a time. The impact of her work extended far beyond the walls of the community center, shaping the lives of countless individuals and igniting a movement of change that would resonate for generations to come. In her heart, she knew that the power of connection would forever be the catalyst for progress, and she was committed to nurturing that connection in every corner of her world. Trials and triumphs. As the months rolled into the new year, Amelia Johnson found herself at a crossroads. The community initiatives she had initiated were flourishing, but with success came new challenges. While many embraced her message of inclusivity and understanding, others clung fiercely to their biases, feeling threatened by the very notion of change. The joy she felt in witnessing growth and transformation was often tempered by the harsh realities of resistance and division. One chilly morning, as Amelia sat in her cozy apartment sipping her morning tea, she received a phone call that would alter the course of her work. It was Laura Bell, the young saleswoman from Palace Woo who had stepped in during the tense confrontation with Henry. "Amelia, I've been following your journey, and I'm so inspired by what you're doing," Laura said, her voice warm and enthusiastic. "I wanted to talk to you about collaborating on a project that I believe could amplify your efforts." Amelia's heart raced with excitement. "I'd love to hear your ideas, Laura," she replied, intrigued. Laura explained her vision for a series of community workshops focused on empowering young women of color. She wanted to create a space where they could explore their identities, discuss the challenges they faced, and cultivate their leadership skills. "We could offer mentorship, skills training, and even provide resources for education and job opportunities," Laura added, her passion evident. The proposal resonated deeply with Amelia. She had often reflected on the importance of empowering the next generation, ensuring they had the tools to navigate a world that could be both beautiful and challenging. "Let's do it," Amelia exclaimed, her mind already racing with ideas. "We can hold the first workshop at the community center and reach out to local schools to get the word out." As they hung up, Amelia felt a surge of optimism. The collaboration with Laura represented a new chapter, one that could nurture future leaders and create a ripple effect of empowerment. Together, they set to work, planning the curriculum, reaching out to potential speakers, and organizing resources. Weeks later, the first workshop, titled Empowerment Through Identity, was scheduled. The excitement in the community was palpable, and Amelia felt a mixture of nerves and exhilaration. They had created a safe space where young women could explore their identities, share their stories, and learn from one another. It was an opportunity to foster confidence and resilience, two traits that had been crucial in Amelia's own journey. On the day of the workshop, the community center buzzed with energy. Young women from various backgrounds arrived, their laughter echoing through the halls. Amelia stood at the entrance, welcoming each participant with a smile, her heart swelling with pride at the diverse group that had gathered. As the workshop began, Amelia and Laura took the stage, introducing the program and setting the tone for the day. They encouraged participants to share their stories and aspirations openly, emphasizing the importance of vulnerability and authenticity. The room was filled with warmth as young women began to open up, sharing their experiences navigating cultural expectations, societal pressures, and personal struggles. One participant, a high school junior named Fatima, shared her story of growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood. "I've always felt like I had to hide parts of myself to fit in," she confessed, her voice quivering with emotion. "It's exhausting trying to be someone I'm not." The room fell silent, resonating with the truth of her words. Amelia felt a deep connection with Fatima, recalling her own experiences of feeling out of place. "I understand how you feel, Fatima," Amelia said gently. "But know that your identity is your strength. Embracing who you are is powerful, and it can inspire others to do the same." The encouragement sparked a wave of empowerment within the group, as other participants chimed in with their own stories of resilience. As the day unfolded, they engaged in activities designed to promote self-discovery and confidence building. They explored themes of identity, self-acceptance, and the importance of mentorship. Amelia shared her own journey, detailing her experiences at Palace Wu and the power of standing up against adversity. Each of us has faced challenges, but it's how we respond to those challenges that defines us, she emphasized. The atmosphere was electric, filled with laughter, tears, and moments of profound connection. As the workshop concluded, Amelia encouraged the participants to continue supporting one another beyond the event. "You are not alone in this journey," she said, her voice filled with conviction. "Together, we can uplift each other and create a community that celebrates our differences." As the young women left that day, Amelia felt a renewed sense of purpose. This was just the beginning of their journey together, and she was determined to cultivate an environment where these young leaders could thrive. In the following weeks, the workshops continued, each session attracting more participants and gaining recognition in the community. They began to incorporate mentorship opportunities, pairing young women with local leaders who could guide them in their personal and professional pursuits. Amelia was inspired by the transformation she witnessed, the growth in confidence, the blossoming friendships, and the commitment to creating a more inclusive community. But amid the successes, shadows of resistance loomed. A vocal group of critics began to emerge, expressing their discontent with Amelia's initiatives. They argued that her efforts to promote inclusivity were divisive, accusing her of fostering a victim mentality. Amelia faced backlash on social media, where hurtful comments and negative opinions circulated, attempting to undermine the positive change she was championing. While initially disheartening, Amelia found strength in her convictions. She recalled the support she had received from her community, the stories of resilience shared in her workshops, and the progress made in fostering understanding. Determined not to be silenced, she decided to confront the criticism head-on. She organized a community forum to address concerns, inviting skeptics and supporters alike to engage in open dialogue. The day of the forum arrived, and Amelia stood at the front of the community center, her heart racing. The room was filled with a mix of supporters and critics, creating a charged atmosphere. Amelia took a deep breath, reminding herself of the importance of this moment. She wanted to bridge the divide, fostering understanding rather than allowing fear to stoke division. "Thank you all for being here today," she began, her voice steady. "We are here to discuss the importance of inclusivity and the value of sharing our stories. I believe that every voice matters, and we can learn from each other, even when we disagree." She invited those with differing opinions to share their perspectives, creating an environment where everyone felt heard. As individuals spoke up, Amelia listened intently, acknowledging their concerns while sharing the rationale behind her initiatives. She emphasized that her work was not about creating divisions, but rather about fostering unity through understanding. "I understand that change can be uncomfortable," she said, "but it is through these uncomfortable conversations that we can grow and learn. We must acknowledge the realities of our society while working together to create a future that is equitable for everyone." Gradually, the dialogue shifted. People began to share their own experiences, opening up about their fears and misunderstandings. Some critics expressed their struggles with the notion of privilege, while others reflected on moments when they had witnessed bias. The atmosphere softened as Amelia facilitated the conversation, steering it toward empathy and common ground. By the end of the forum, participants were shaking hands and exchanging contact information, a testament to the power of dialogue and understanding. In the weeks that followed, Amelia noticed a shift in the community. While resistance still lingered, more individuals began to engage with her initiatives. Schools reached out to collaborate on programs focused on diversity, and local businesses offered their support for future workshops and events. The tide was turning, and Amelia felt a renewed sense of hope. As she continued to navigate the complexities of her work, Amelia also found solace in her personal life. Her friendships deepened as she connected with like-minded individuals who shared her passion for advocacy. They would gather over coffee, exchanging ideas, sharing laughter, and supporting one another through the trials they faced. One evening, Amelia received an unexpected invitation to speak at a regional conference on social justice. It was an opportunity to share her journey on a larger platform and inspire others to embrace their identities and advocate for change. Excitement coursed through her veins as she accepted the invitation, eager to spread her message beyond the borders of Metropolis. On the day of the conference, Amelia stood backstage, her heart pounding with anticipation. As she prepared to take the stage, she reflected on how far she had come since that day at Pallaswu. The experiences she had faced, both the painful and the empowering, had shaped her into the person she was today. As she stepped into the spotlight, a wave of energy washed over her. The audience was filled with individuals eager to learn and connect, and she felt an overwhelming sense of purpose. "Thank you for having me," she began, her voice filled with conviction. "Today, I want to share my story, one of resilience, empowerment, and the transformative power of connection." As Amelia recounted her journey, the room was captivated. She spoke about her experiences with bias, the importance of standing up against discrimination, and the beauty of embracing one's identity. Her passion resonated with the audience, igniting a spark of inspiration in those who heard her words. The conference was a resounding success, leading to connections with other activists and organizations dedicated to social justice. Amelia returned to Metropolis with newfound energy, determined to expand her efforts and continue the work she had begun. In the months that followed, Amelia launched a new initiative, a mentorship program that connected young women of color with successful leaders in various fields. The program aimed to provide guidance, resources, and networking opportunities to empower the next generation of changemakers. As mentors shared their knowledge and experiences, the young women blossomed, their confidence and aspirations soaring. Amelia's journey had transformed from one of personal resilience to a movement of empowerment that extended far beyond her own story. Each workshop, every conversation, and each connection made had contributed to a tapestry of change woven from the threads of shared experiences. Through trials and triumphs, Amelia Johnson continued to champion the values of empathy, understanding, and inclusivity, embodying the belief that every story mattered. She understood that the road ahead would not be without challenges, but with each step, she moved closer to a world where everyone could stand tall, proud of their identity, and empowered to advocate for a brighter future. The power of community. As the mentorship program flourished, Amelia Johnson began to see the profound impact of her work ripple through the community. Young women who had once felt uncertain about their place in the world were now stepping into their power, armed with confidence and purpose. The gatherings transformed from mere workshops into vibrant circles of support, where participants shared their ambitions, challenges, and dreams, cultivating a sisterhood that transcended their individual experiences. One particularly memorable session featured guest speaker Angela Martinez, a successful entrepreneur who had built her own tech company from the ground up. As she shared her journey from a low-income neighborhood to becoming a leader in the tech industry, the room was electric with inspiration. "I faced rejection after rejection," Angela recounted, her voice steady and confident. "But each no fueled my determination. I learned to embrace my uniqueness, and that's what set me apart." The young women listened intently, hanging on Angela's every word. Amelia watched with pride as participants began to ask questions, eager to learn from Angela's experiences. "How do you handle self-doubt?" one young woman asked, her voice trembling slightly. Angela smiled warmly. "Self-doubt is something everyone experiences, but it's how we respond to it that matters. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who believe in your potential. And remember, your voice matters. Don't be afraid to speak up and share your ideas." The conversation flowed seamlessly, inspiring a candid dialogue about the challenges of navigating careers as women of color. It was a testament to the power of community, a safe space where vulnerability was met with empathy and encouragement. As the mentorship program continued to evolve, Amelia realized the importance of celebrating the achievements of these young women. She organized an annual Empowerment Gala, a night dedicated to honoring their journeys and showcasing their talents. The event would feature performances, speeches, and awards, creating a platform for the young leaders to shine. Planning the gala was no small feat. Amelia enlisted the help of her dedicated team and the young women in the mentorship program. Together, they brainstormed ideas for themes, performances, and ways to highlight their collective achievements. Excitement filled the air as they prepared for an event that would not only celebrate individual success, but also foster a sense of community pride. In the weeks leading up to the gala, Amelia immersed herself in the preparations. She coordinated with local businesses for sponsorships, reached out to community leaders for support, and designed a program that would resonate with the audience. Every detail mattered, from the decor to the guest speakers, all aimed at creating a memorable experience that would uplift and inspire. The night of the gala arrived, and the community center transformed into a dazzling space filled with lights, laughter, and anticipation. Tables were adorned with elegant centerpieces, and a stage was set for performances. The air was electric with energy as attendees began to arrive, their excitement palpable. As Amelia welcomed guests at the entrance, she felt a surge of emotion. This was not just a celebration of achievements. It was a culmination of hard work, resilience, and the unwavering belief in the power of community. Each person who entered carried a story, a piece of the tapestry that had been woven through shared experiences and collective growth. The gala commenced with a stunning performance by a local dance troupe, their movements a celebration of culture and creativity. The audience erupted in applause, setting the tone for the evening. Amelia stood backstage, her heart racing, as she prepared to address the crowd. Taking a deep breath, she stepped into the spotlight, feeling the warmth of the audience's gaze. "Welcome, everyone," she began, her voice steady and filled with emotion. "Tonight, we come together to celebrate the incredible journeys of the young women in our mentorship program. Each story is a testament to the power of resilience, determination, and community." Amelia shared her own journey, recounting the challenges she had faced and the support she had received along the way. "It is through connection that we find strength," she emphasized. "Together, we can break down barriers and create a world where every voice is valued." The audience listened intently, and Amelia felt a wave of solidarity wash over her. She introduced the young women who would share their stories that evening, each stepping forward with a blend of nerves and excitement. As they spoke, the room filled with inspiration. Their voices resonated with authenticity, showcasing the unique paths they were forging. Fatima, who had once hesitated to share her experiences, took the stage with newfound confidence. "I used to feel like I had to hide who I am," she began, her voice strong. "But through this program, I've learned to embrace my identity. I want to inspire others to do the same." The audience erupted in applause, their support a reminder that they were all in this journey together. Each young woman's story added to the fabric of the evening, weaving a narrative of empowerment, community, and shared dreams. As the night continued, Amelia couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought them all together. It was a tapestry woven from the threads of struggle and triumph, each individual contributing to a larger movement for change. Toward the end of the evening, Amelia announced the inaugural Empowerment Awards, recognizing individuals who had made significant contributions to the community. The first award went to Laura Bell, who had been instrumental in launching the mentorship program. As Laura stepped onto the stage, tears of gratitude glistened in her eyes. "Thank you, Amelia, and thank you to everyone here tonight," Laura said, her voice shaking with emotion. "This program has changed my life as much as it has changed the lives of the young women we mentor. Together, we can create a future where every person is empowered to reach their full potential." The applause was deafening, and the sense of community in the room was palpable. It was a moment of recognition, not just for Laura, but for everyone who had dedicated their time and energy to fostering change. As the gala came to a close, Amelia stood at the entrance, watching attendees leave with smiles on their faces and hearts full of hope. The evening had exceeded her expectations, and she felt a deep sense of fulfillment in witnessing the growth of the young women she had come to care for so deeply. In the weeks that followed, the impact of the gala reverberated throughout the community. News outlets covered the event, highlighting the importance of empowerment and the role of mentorship in shaping future leaders. Social media buzzed with photos and testimonials, spreading the message of hope and inspiration far beyond Metropolis. As the program gained momentum, Amelia received an unexpected invitation from a national organization focused on women's empowerment. They wanted her to speak at their annual conference, showcasing the success of her initiatives and the profound impact of community support. Excitement surged through her. This was an opportunity to share their journey on a larger platform. On the day of the conference, Amelia felt a blend of nerves and anticipation. Standing backstage, she reflected on how far she had come since that initial confrontation at Palace Wu. The challenges she had faced, both personally and professionally, had shaped her into the advocate she was today. As she took the stage, the audience was filled with individuals eager to learn and connect. "Thank you for having me," she began, her voice strong and clear. "Today, I want to share a story of resilience, community, and the incredible power we all have to uplift one another." As Amelia recounted her journey, the room was captivated. She spoke about the importance of community in overcoming obstacles, highlighting the stories of the young women in her mentorship program. "It's not just about individual success. It's about creating a network of support that empowers us all," she emphasized. The audience responded with enthusiasm, and as she concluded her speech, a wave of applause filled the room. It was a reminder that her message resonated beyond the borders of Metropolis, touching lives far and wide. In the days that followed the conference, Amelia received numerous messages of support from individuals inspired by her story. Some reached out to collaborate on similar initiatives, while others shared their own experiences of resilience. The connections formed were a testament to the universal desire for understanding and empowerment. However, Amelia also encountered challenges. The backlash she had experienced previously resurfaced, amplified by her newfound visibility. Online comments and messages of resistance attempted to undermine her work, but she remained undeterred. She reminded herself that progress often comes with pushback, and she was committed to standing firm in her beliefs. With the support of her community, Amelia decided to address the criticisms head-on. She organized a series of community forums aimed at promoting dialogue and understanding, inviting individuals from all backgrounds to engage in conversations about identity, privilege, and inclusivity. The forums attracted a diverse audience, and Amelia facilitated discussions with grace and empathy. As individuals shared their perspectives, barriers began to crumble, replaced by a shared commitment to fostering understanding and connection. The conversations became a powerful catalyst for change, paving the way for a more inclusive community. In the months that followed, Amelia's initiatives continued to thrive. The mentorship program expanded, reaching more young women eager to embrace their identities and explore their potential. Each session became a celebration of growth, as participants discovered the strength that lay within them. As she reflected on the journey, Amelia understood that her work was far from over. The world still grappled with issues of inequality and bias, but she felt a renewed sense of purpose. Every story shared, every connection made, and every challenge faced contributed to the larger narrative of empowerment and community. Amelia's heart swelled with pride as she witnessed the transformation of the young women she had come to know and love. They were no longer hesitant voices. They were leaders, advocates, and change-makers in their own right. Together, they embodied the belief that every story mattered and that the power of community could ignite a movement of change. In the quiet moments, Amelia would often reflect on the journey that had led her here. From the confrontation at Palace Wu to the vibrant community she had cultivated, each experience had shaped her into an advocate for change. She understood that the road ahead would not be without obstacles, but with each step, she moved closer to a world where everyone could stand tall, proud of their identities, and empowered to create a brighter future for themselves and others. With unwavering determination, Amelia Johnson continued to forge a path toward inclusivity and understanding, a beacon of hope in a world that sometimes felt divided. Her journey was a testament to the power of resilience, community, and the belief that together, they could create a world where everyone felt seen, heard, and valued.